Welcome back to the next installment in the Ruleset coding tutorial series. In this one we're going to code a basic spell system. So if we have a look at our character sheet, we can see we've got a window list and we have a label, and so I've created a data type called spell and another one called spell detail. So spell contains all the information, the raw information that goes into the spell again. We've got a description field, we've got a label, skill rank. This is the magic field where we store the values in, and we've got a name and a link field, a record locked field, and a close field. And this is all pretty straightforward on this one. Where the magic happens is on the spell detail field. So we can see here it's very straightforward. It's just a name, it's a spell point cost or a magic point cost, and the link. But the part where all the magic is happening is in the spell cost. So when let's have a look at the code for that. So we've got on double click, we then create a variable node car, and we're doing get database node, get parent, get parent, get parent, and that's because when we have a spell in here, we've got the spell, we want to get its parent, which is the window list, and the window list then is part of this character sheet. So we're needing to back ourselves all the way back up and find the actual character node, which is what we're going to get with this node car. Our next one is spell, and from this one we're going to get the name of the spell, which is this record field here. And we see that this has probably got a bit of superfluous content in here. We could have used the node car field in here as we've done in some other parts. So anyway, we're doing get database node, get parent, get child's name, and then get the value of that. Then we're doing pretty much the same thing for the spell cost, which is getting that numerical value, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever number of points it costs to cast that spell. Same process. So get database node, get its parent. So that's get parent means to move up one level in the tree, drop off the last level, and then get the child and with the name spell cost and get its value. Magic points is we're going to get the value of node car, which we've determined now is our parent node, so it's just our car sheet.id, and we're going to get the MP current. So this is a similar function to this syntax here, but it is a different one. And sometimes different ones work better. Sometimes the db.getValue works better than pulling it from the database node. So anyway, this one we're getting the value from here. If there's no value to be found, it returns 0. And the main reason it does that is it prevents it creating an error. So if you can't find, there's no value in that field, the field hasn't been initialized for some reason, it will return 0 and it'll stop it generating an error. And just to be double sure, we are running the toNumber function on this to ensure that this value is retrieved as a number. The next one that we're doing is we're creating a variable sIcon, and for this we retrieve the token data from the character sheet. Now the token data actually contains the link to the portrait. We don't want the portrait, we want a special instance of that which is designed for the chat output, which is sized right down to about 40 pixels. Now might be 38 pixels, something like that. And that's basically got exactly the same syntax as this token field, which is stored in the DB, but instead of the word token at the end, it has the word chat at the end. That value is not stored in the database. So what we do is we're using a Lua string function called gsub. We're passing it the data sIcon, which is this field here, which has got our whole node car. So it's got carsheet.id.token. It pulls that whole value here. So we're piping all that output into this S icon, we're looking for the word token and we're placing it with the word chat. And that is updating the S icons. The S icon starts with the token data in it and it ends up with the chat data in it. Then we're doing a simple if-else statement. So we've got if our number of magic points is greater than or equal to the spell cost of the spell that we're trying to cast, then the character can cast that spell. So then we're going to initialize a new message. So we're creating an array called rMessage, and we're going to populate it with the font and the icon is our character's chat portrait. We're then going to add some extra content to that. So we're adding the character's name. So it's now John prepares to cast, and then the spell name and an exclamation mark. What we've got here is a couple of different inputs. So this is going to return it's not going to put this text in, it's going to return the value of this text, which is the character's name. The 2 dots means to join these two values together. Doesn't mean sum them, it's not like a plus, it's just string them together. Then we've got an actual string that we're going to put in here, and we can see that it's prefixed with a space and appended with a space, and that's because we need to have spaces between those words. Then we've got the spell name. Now on the left here we've put code in to retrieve the character's name, and here we just used a variable name because we've already pulled the spell name up here in line 3. Then we've got a statement com deliver chat message, rMessage, so it's delivering all of this information here, so the font, the icon, and the message, and it's delivering that to chat. And then the next part is to update the character's current magic points. So we've got db set value, node car, which is our car sheet.id, the child node mp current, which is the magic points current value. It's a number field, and then we're setting it to the current number of magic points minus the spell cost. Now this won't go negative because it won't run, this set of code here, these 4 lines won't run unless there's at least an equivalent number of magic points to the spell cost. In this instance where that's not true, so our second part of our if-else statement, then we still build up a message and we populate that message, but the message here is slightly different. So it starts exactly the same. Our caster prepares to cast a spell name but does not have enough magic points. And then we don't need to decrement any magic points from the character sheet because we didn't cast the spell. They don't have enough power to do it, so it couldn't happen. We deliver that chat message. So let's go and have a look at that in action on the character sheet. Okay, we reload the table after pushing that update, and I've actually populated a couple of spells into the character sheet, and one with a value cost of 1, another one with a cost of 2. So here our character's got 15 magic points. So if he wants to cast the Force Bolt, we get a message here, Gudgeon prepares to cast Force Bolt, and according to the rules of this system, when you declare that you're going to cast a spell, you already expend those magic points straight away, even if the spell turns out to be unsuccessful. So we can see here that our magic points change from 15 to 13. If we do it again, we can see it changes from 13 to 11. So I'm going to change this down to 1 magic point, and we'll try and cast Force Bolt again. And instead of Gudgeon preparing to cast Force Bolt, we get the message, Gudgeon prepares to cast Force Bolt but does not have enough magic points. However, Gudgeon does have 1 magic point left, so he could cast Iron Hand instead, and when he does that, the message here indicates that he's done so, and the magic points is reduced to 0, and if we cast either of these spells, we still get the negative message so that he's not able to cast them. In the rules there's actually another step to casting the spell where we actually have to test our magic skill, but that will come up in a later video. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow for the next video.